As we stand here on November 27th, 2025, it is becoming increasingly clear that the current administration is not merely governing for the present. It is actively engaged in a grand project of redesigning America, seeking to embed its vision so deeply into the nation's fabric that it may become irreversible. This is not just about policy shifts that can be undone by a future Congress or president. It is about fundamentally altering the physical, digital, and cultural landscapes of the country. The goal appears to be the creation of a permanent legacy, one that future generations will see, touch, and interact with daily, shaping their perception of the nation itself for decades to come. This ambition is perhaps best symbolized by the recent construction of a new, grand ballroom at the White House. This is more than just an architectural addition. It is a statement. While past presidents have redecorated rooms, this project represents a physical expansion of the executive mansion intended to stand for centuries. It is built not just with steel and stone, but with the intent of projecting power, permanence, and a specific vision of American grandeur. Every gala held within its walls, every treaty signed under its high ceilings, will carry the imprint of this era, serving as a constant reminder of the administration that willed it into existence, long after its term has ended. This impulse to build extends far beyond the confines of the White House. Across the country, we are witnessing a concerted effort to erect new statues and monuments that celebrate the administration's political figures and ideological tenets. These are not just public art projects. They are deliberate attempts to reshape the nation's historical narrative and solidify a particular political identity in bronze and marble. At the same time, there are reports of concerted efforts to influence the leadership of major cultural institutions, including venerable organizations like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, aiming to steer their direction and collections in a way that aligns with a specific worldview. The strategy is clear: to ensure that the administration's legacy is not just written in the pages of history books, but is cast in stone and woven into the very cultural and physical identity of America. By altering the spaces where Americans gather, learn, and reflect on their history, the goal is to create a lasting and tangible mark. This raises profound questions about the nature of a democratic transition of power. When one administration so thoroughly remakes the symbols of the nation, it challenges the ability of future leaders to chart a different course, potentially locking the country into a single, enduring vision. The redesign of America is not limited to brick and mortar. A sweeping transformation is underway in the digital realm, a space where most Americans now interact with their government. Through an executive order titled America by Design, the administration has launched an ambitious initiative to overhaul the federal government's vast network of websites. The stated goal is to improve usability and aesthetics, arguing that public-facing digital services have lagged far behind the private sector. This effort is being spearheaded by a newly created national design studio, led by a chief design officer tasked with standardizing the look and feel of the government's online presence. This digital modernization project is vast in scope. It aims to remake tens of thousands of federal web portals, from the IRS website where citizens file taxes to portals for accessing healthcare and veterans benefits. The administration's vision is to create a seamless, efficient, and visually cohesive user experience, akin to a well-designed commercial platform like the Apple App Store. To achieve this, the U.S. web design system is being updated and its adoption mandated across agencies, a significant shift given that currently, less than 20% of federal websites use this code. The deadline for initial results is set for July 4th, 2026, tying the project to the nation's 250th anniversary. While supporters argue that making government websites more user-friendly is a long overdue and bipartisan goal, critics raise concerns about the centralization of control. Placing the design of the government's entire digital front door under a single politically appointed office could open the door to embedding ideological messaging into supposedly neutral public services. The way information is presented, the language used, and the features that are prioritized can subtly guide public perception and behavior. This digital redesign could become a powerful tool for shaping the public's interaction with the government in ways that favor one political viewpoint over another. Beyond the digital sphere, the administration's influence is being felt in the nation's health policies, which are also undergoing a fundamental redesign. Changes to how health information is disseminated online and shifts in funding priorities for public health initiatives reflect a new direction. Programs are being re-evaluated not just for their effectiveness, but for their alignment with the administration's America First ideology. This has tangible consequences for how Americans access care and information, potentially altering the public health landscape for years and making it difficult for subsequent administrations to restore previous frameworks and priorities. The redesign initiative extends far beyond America's borders, reshaping its role on the global stage. In September 2025, the administration released its America First Global Health Strategy, a document that signals a historic retreat from the nation's long-standing position as the world's leading global health donor. This new strategy explicitly minimizes the U.S. role in multilateral efforts, instead prioritizing investments that are directly aligned with American national interests. It represents a fundamental shift away from a decades-long consensus that global health security is intrinsically linked to America's own security and prosperity, a change with potentially permanent consequences for international stability. This strategic pivot has already had a dramatic impact, particularly in Africa. Programs like the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, a bipartisan initiative credited with saving over 25 million lives, have faced significant funding reductions. Despite congressional pushback, the administration's power to withhold foreign aid, recently upheld by the Supreme Court, has created deep uncertainty. This U.S. withdrawal is forcing a redesign of the entire global health architecture, compelling other nations and blocs to step into the leadership void. African nations are now increasing their own health investments, while powers like China are expanding their influence. The new American Global Health Strategy is also explicitly framed as a tool for geopolitical competition, particularly with China. The policy documents state that U.S. health efforts should serve as a counterweight to Chinese influence. This transforms humanitarian aid and global health cooperation into another front in a great power rivalry. By tying life-saving assistance to strategic competition, the administration is altering the very nature of foreign aid, potentially eroding the trust and goodwill that the United States has built over generations. This approach risks being seen as transactional rather than humanitarian, which could permanently damage America's soft power. The consequences of this retreat are profound and may be difficult to reverse. As the U.S. pulls back, other countries are stepping up. China has committed hundreds of millions of dollars to the World Health Organization and is increasing its support for the Africa CDC. The BRICS bloc, now expanded to include more African nations, is also building its own health cooperation frameworks. Once these new systems and alliances are in place, it may be impossible for the United States to simply reclaim its former leadership role. The world is adapting to a new reality, one where America is no longer the indispensable nation in global health. As these sweeping redesigns take shape, the central question remains: are these changes good for America? Supporters argue that many of these initiatives are addressing long-standing problems. Modernizing outdated government websites to make them more efficient and accessible is a goal that transcends politics. Creating beautiful and functional public spaces, they contend, improves quality of life and fosters national pride. From this perspective, the America by Design initiative is simply a bold and necessary effort to bring the government into the 21st century, cutting through bureaucratic inertia to deliver better results for the American people. However, critics see a more troubling pattern. They worry that these projects are not about good governance, but about cementing a single political ideology into the nation's permanent infrastructure. Centralizing design authority, influencing cultural institutions, and building partisan monuments could politicize public life in unprecedented ways. The retreat from global leadership, critics argue, undermines decades of progress in public health, weakens American influence, and creates a vacuum that strategic rivals are all too eager to fill. They fear that what is being built is not a better America, but a more insular and divided one, with changes that will be incredibly difficult and costly to undo. The debate over this legacy will likely define our political discourse for years to come. Are we witnessing a visionary modernization of the country, or an effort to create an imperial presidency that leaves an indelible stamp on the nation's identity, overriding the democratic process that allows for change with each new generation? The changes are happening now, in real time, and their effects are already being felt, from the digital portals we use to access services to the shifting alliances that define our world. The full consequences, however, may not be understood for many years. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the profound changes shaping our nation. The future is not something that simply happens to us. It is being designed and built today. It is more important than ever to stay engaged, to remain informed, and to participate in the conversation about the direction of our country. I encourage you to share this story and to add your own thoughts on these developments in the comments below. Your voice is a vital part of this ongoing American story. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more content. Your support means a lot to us. See you in the next video.